I am Captain Spawn, and this is day 357 of Spawn Year. Am I really seeing this? Surely I'm just so ready to be through with this material, at home sitting in a chair made of something other than comic book long boxes and normal red blood composed of plasma instead of Mountain Dew, that I didn't actually open this issue and immediately read the line, "Here's the question we need to ask ourselves, never mind the answer." Nope, that's definitely what Twitch is saying there. I knew it. 4 issues called Q&A, and we've gotten virtually nowhere. All the fingerprint reveal seemed to do was confirm for Jim and Twitch, once again, a story point that's already been pretty firmly seared into the reader's cerebral cortex. Jim's identity has been publicly erased. Maybe we didn't know that includes police records, that someone went to a lot of trouble to make every trace of him disappear, but come on! At this point, Jim's mysterious past has been dragged out to such an absurd degree that the ultimate reveal would have to be that Jim's actually Todd McFarlane, and he was so guilty about what he'd done to Al Simmons that he wrote himself into his own comic book, erased his own memories, and made himself the next Spawn just to punish himself, to be even remotely worth wading through all this static. Yeah, reading this book is akin to staring at TV static. And if you think I've had a tendency to read too far into things in these reviews, try looking at TV static for a year and tell me you never saw anything that wasn't really there. In issue 211, Jim finally learns from Twitch, who mentions Clown's Ledger Joker-esque jailbreak, that Clown and Violator are one in the same. So far, that's the only helpful piece of information their uneasy alliance has produced for Jim. Twitch can't tell him anything about who he is, but Jim is still getting the better end of the deal, as Jim hit a brick wall on his end of the bargain. It turns out Jim wasn't able to cure Sam after all, because of the suit's violent reaction when it got close to him. Man, wouldn't all these closed doors make for better reading if I was rooting for the guys trying to open them? Why not allow Jim and Twitch to build a rapport, develop a common respect as each is initially forced to help the other jump his respective hurdles in order to enlist the aid of the other to jump his? Jim is still threatening Twitch and acting like he's ready to strangle him with his chains as soon as he no longer matters for his cause. And Twitch is more sympathetic in this situation, but it takes 2 to tango, and he's no fun with a proverbial gun constantly in his face. Twitch and Al had some great character parallels that created a layered and unlikely friendship. And while that dynamic didn't last very long, it's too bad that couldn't be recreated here in some way. Why else use Twitch in this ally role, and why else give them so much panel time together? After a wasted page of Jim trying to top his record for biggest melodramatic word balloon on record, I think you'll have to Spawn morph to beat "Someone's going to die for this." Clown finally shows up and tries to explain why he lied to Jim about his Violator form. He claims it's because he needs Jim to help him fight Malbolgia, more half-truths. He says he's stolen and hidden one of Bulgy's power pieces someplace. This just got really Smallville Season 4, and that Bulgy's too powerful for him to take on alone, which is probably true, but of course he's leaving out that business about the unholy trinity! I don't know why Clown didn't start with this story. Isn't something closer to the truth about his and Bulgy's history easier to sell than his being a valiant warrior for good and trying to keep up the phone booth change dual identity shtick? It's sure nice of Jim to be so gullible up until now. I think I know why he did that, because McFarlane hadn't figured out all this pieces of power stuff when Jim met Clown, and true to form, he's been stalling until whatever issue number he decided he had to make up a reason for Jim to know about Violator. Why are we stringing out Bulgy's return to power? I mean, shouldn't that have been what 200 was about? Why wasn't his grabbing all his MacGuffins so he could finally call his Megazord the lead up to 200. Then that fight with Violator could have been about his trying to get that last piece. If Bulgy needed to walk all over Tarnation to get his power back, why wasn't he doing that in all those issues after Freak was reintroduced? It's like he knew 200 was coming and was just standing around until it got there, like the Easter Bunny watching the clock until the only Sunday every year that matters to him. Landmarks in this series are like holidays. McFarlane's an impatient little kid just staring at the calendar until they finally come around and accomplishing next to nothing in the interim. Oh, and I still don't get how much more powerful Bulgy could possibly get after summoning Omegas. Spawn attacks Clown for deceiving him, because Jim's only consistent character trait is impulsively trying to murder anyone he doesn't trust. Yeah, because that'll get you all the answers you're after. And the cliffhanger is a Violator fight tease with a killer last page. I gotta admit, that arm holding Jim thing is awesome. Speaking of traits, Carlton's dialogue is getting worse exponentially. Blood asks, besides strength, did he exhibit any other traits of interest? And his vampire henchman snaps back with, traits? Yeah, traits. Would you have preferred qualities, attributes, characteristics? I could try all day to write weirder things for characters to go postal about and never begin to achieve the success this comic does. Blood is concerned because Jim, who he all but acknowledges is himself a MacGuffin, who has no idea what he's doing and uses the costume's influence to explain his erratic behavior, has opened a portal all by himself to heaven, which he shouldn't be able to do, and now Hell's probably going to attack him. It's funny how I should probably be more interested in that development than I am. And Blood's concerned because Spawn was able to capture and keep the three most dangerous demons alive, demon-vampire hybrids, who Clown says killed the Demon Elite, whoever they were, and they only just now escaped. I wonder if we'll ever know how Al killing himself made Letha the most powerful thing in the universe. Oh, and I love Clown's exposition about how the Demon Elite tried to do away with these vampire hybrids a long time ago. They sent them on every unimaginable mission you can think of. Sorry, Clown, I'm having trouble thinking of any missions that are beyond my ability to imagine them. Signed, Captain Spawn.